Hello, friends and fellow assholes. I'm Jay.
I'm Sean.
And today we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, and we're going to talk a little bit about our childhood video games. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, so tell me, Sean, what is the video game that defined your childhood?
NHL 93.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
That was just the first game where you would
You
go
lost your
and...
virginity too?
I guess, yeah, in a way.
Okay.
That was a game where you would get all your friends together and you could just play for hours. Just winner stays on and off you go.
Okay.
So
you had lots of tournaments like that?
We had lots of tournaments like
sleepovers?
that.
Do boys have sleepovers?
Boys have sleepovers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you call them sleepovers?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Call them parties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that Street Fighter 2 was another one.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, where you just play for hours or wait around and watch other people play for hours if you're not very good. So
okay.
It was.
Were you pretty good?
I was okay.
Okay.
I was better at NHL than at Street Fighter.
I see. So that's why it's your favorite.
That's why it's my go-to. That's right. I enjoyed it because there was a deke that you could do, and you would always score on the goalie. Yeah, you had to go like left, right, left, and then shoot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Complex stuff.
Yeah, well, you had to come in on an angle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what about you?
What system is that on?
Well, it was best on the Sega Genesis because the Sega Genesis was faster.
Okay. Because here's the thing. Until like the year 2000, everything was just Nintendo to me. Like I didn't know that there were different things. I don't even know why we had a Nintendo. I guess like we heard kids talking about it, so we were like, apparently this is a toy we should want. So we got our first the original Nintendo.
It was, because you had Duck Hunt, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah. That's the thing. We were very small, and it was one of our gifts from Santa one year, and it was a joint gift for Jess and I, and Janet and Tessa got a Power Wheels Jeep. Oh. So here's the thing. Tess and Jana played the Nintendo just as much as Jess and I did, but Jess and I were not allowed in the Power Wheels Jeep because we exceeded the weight limit. Yeah, parents... not cool. Like how many years later we remember those iniquities. So we got that, and with the system, I guess maybe there was Mario.
Yeah, Duck Hunt and Mario.
Duck Hunt and Mario. So those are basically the only two games we had, except for one of our aunts gave us a 99-cent bargain bin copy of Knight Rider, which we did not even know was a thing. Didn't know that was a TV show or what it was based on. And literally, we were so bad, I'm sure we never could play more than the first 15 seconds up the road, and then we would crash. We had no idea what any of the buttons did or how we should navigate. I still don't know what that game does. Although, not that we were any better. Mario, we probably played for 10 years and never defeated it. Never defeated the big boss. I think we got as far as him. But we are terrible Nintendo people. And so those were the only games we ever got, because we were just what is the point? Eventually, we got Game Boys. Again, one for me and Jess, and we got Tetris, and then one for Tess and Jana, and they got The Little Mermaid. Uh-huh. And then we got, I guess it must have been Nintendo 64. I want to say around 97-ish. Yeah. And that one we had Mario Kart for. Again, we just, we only ever had one game. We never got any good at them. But that was that's all I knew of video games, so I was not overly impressed by them.
Okay, that's fair. Mm-hmm. You needed a Sega Genesis, clearly.
Is that what I needed?
Then you could have played Sonic.
Well, I did learn that in the opening credits of this movie. It is a Sega game.
It is a Sega game. Mm-hmm. That's right. It was Sega's #1 game. He was Sega's Mario. Okay,
so is it fair to say that you played Sonic then?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's the one that came with the Sega Genesis.
All right. So this is your, bread and butter Sega guy.
Sega, Sonic is not a hard game. Mario is a hard game.
Thank you for saying that, yes.
Sonic is you can make it through the levels Eventually.
Could I?
Yes, you could. Because it's about the speed. Like, it wants you to play them again and again and go faster and get all the rings and find the secret parts of it. But if you just want to go through and finish the level, you will eventually find your way. It's not really that complicated. You just keep going right, and you'll eventually make it there.
So how does the movie measure up to someone like you?
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, for example, the rings in the movie are a teleportation device. The rings in the game, you just have to collect a bunch, because if you get 100, I think you get a free life. Something happens at 100. And also, if you have at least one ring, then if you get hit, you just lose your rings. You don't die. So you always want to have a ring, but there's tons of them out there. And when you get hit, they like go like all around you, so you can pick them up again.
Okay. So I like, having probably never even seen a game of Sonic the Hedgehog in my life, coming into this completely with zero preconceptions about what it was, I assumed that Dr. Robotnik must be a character from the game.
Yes, he is.
Okay, because it's a pretty stupid name. What about the cop?
No.
Okay, so is Sonic in the game like never goes to Earth and this is just a movie conceit?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
You know, like there is a Green Hills zone, which is a level.
Okay.
But you know, when you first see Sonic's first planet, when he's there with the owl, that looks like the game.
Is the owl from the game?
No.
Oh.
Although, like, there are some animals. He has like a fox friend. There's like Knuckles, who's an echidna, whatever that is. It's some sort of.
I know what they are.
Okay. So there's a few animals like that, and then when you like go through the game, you can free animals from the robots. Dr. Robotnik builds animals into robots for some reason.
And does he look like that in the game?
Yeah, so he looks exactly like the guy at the end of the movie.
Okay. Okay.
With the big bushy mustache.
Wonderful. Yes. So we have Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but he's brutal.
You know what? I don't like Jim Carrey, and I know I sound like a terrible Canadian when I say that, but I hate Jim Carrey's thing. I hate his big shtick, and like have only recently gotten over him for movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and The Truman Show, although those are very old movies at this point. That's the only Jim Carrey I can tolerate. This is the other Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of been off the market for a while, but he is fully unleashed in this.
Yeah, he's doing the same old thing.
His same old thing, yes. And I guess the character calls for it, but I was not happy.
No, he's the worst part of the movie.
He's the worst part of the movie. Okay, fair enough. Now, James Marsden is the human friend, I guess, of Sonic, the small town sheriff with big dreams.
Let's move on up to San Francisco.
So him I like.
Yeah.
He's actually a dreamboat from my youth.
From what movie?
Not from a movie, from a TV show called Second Noah, about like a family who just like seem to adopt or foster all of these like abandoned kids. So like he was really the dreamy oldest brother, and then there would be babies, and his girlfriend on the show was Joey Lauren Adams, who you may remember from Chasing Amy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, a very, unevolved, extremely problematic deep cut from Kevin Smith in the late 90s. So that's what I know him from. So I have loved him since then. That's a very long time.
It is.
But he still has the same twinkle.
Yeah, he does. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, he's like a less offensive Tom Cruise, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay. So 1 to 5, how did you like this movie?
3.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not really for me or adults. It's a kid's movie.
Okay.
But I could totally see it playing in a minivan while we're driving our nephews somewhere.
I was just going to say, because this summer, on the way to the cottage, my sister bought Shazam for our nephews. And Sean had told them about Shazam and said, you're going to want to get this one. And if you're wondering who still buys physical media, it's moms with minivans. So they got Shazam. It's a 5-hour car ride. My poor mother was trapped in the back seat with them. They watched it twice, back to back. Even my mother said it was not bad. But as soon as they were at the cottage, they burst out of the van. Sean, thank you, Sean. Oh, it was so good. They played Shazam the whole week. They watched the movie over and over and over. And this is the movie that introduced Queen to my 5-year-old nephew who adores music and rock and roll. And that same song is back in the beginning of Sonic.
Yes, it is.
So do you think they're going to like this movie as much as they like Shazam?
No.
Oh.
Not as much.
Okay. Is this on like a Pikachu level?
I think it's a Pikachu level.
Okay.
I think they're going to like it. Mm-hmm. But Shazam was a whole other thing. Because Shazam lends itself to it. Like you could be Shazam. Because Shazam's a kid that turned into a superhero.
Yeah.
And this doesn't have the same thing.
Okay. But couldn't you just hope as a little boy to have a Super Sonic Hedgehog as the best friend?
I guess you can always hope.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, they're probably going to go see it this weekend. A bunch of little kids. There were little kids in our screening already running around pretending to be Sonic.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. I mean, definitely the script felt so bland and so, like, by the numbers in terms of plot. Like, oh, there's a bad guy chasing me and we're going to defeat him with our friendship.
Yeah, basically.
And James Marsden is saying, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. Good grief.
Well, that's a small town.
It's extremely harmless, this movie.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Really painfully harmless at times.
At times, yeah. I cannot pretend to have liked this film, I have to say.
Yeah.
It was, I was kind of bored.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, really, I thought this was going to be terrible.
Okay.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's okay.
Fair enough. It is an okay movie.
It's an okay movie that your kids will probably really like.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you have to just sit there and...
Yeah, I mean, there's not really, like,
So
much.
how about his look? Is that the Sonic of your youth?
More or less. Like, I know there was a big controversy with it. In the first trailer, there was an uproar. They changed him. I mean, we were looking at the trailer. It's not that much different. Mm-hmm. It's really not. He looks enough like Sonic, but not really 100%.
Okay. So how did you feel about the CGI? Did you think the movie looked okay?
I thought the movie looked pretty good. I really liked the slow-mo scenes were well done, although like they went back to that too often, I felt.
Well, it's really the one trick they have in their bag.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that is how you're going to know that he's fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they definitely went back and forth on how fast is he super fast and also has the ability to stop time? Like, it definitely felt like that at some point.
It did, and he cannot stop time.
No,
he's just fast.
But he was stopping time
yes.
and moving things, and
yes.
It was a whole big...
It was very Quicksilver.
Yes!
From X-Men, whichever one that was.
But you really liked
Days
that.
of Future Past. I love that scene.
Like, you liked it 10 years ago.
I did. That's really the issue that I had. I mean, it's the exact same
We've
thing.
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought the CG looked fine. It was never, like, bad looking to me. But I did keep thinking, James Marsden is, like, acting at, like, a puppet right now. There's just, like, a stick where he has to, like, train his line of sight. And he, like, has done this whole movie just by himself.
That's how good an
thing
actor
he's so
he is.
charismatic, because he does kind of pull it off, and it's all right. It's actually, I thought it was actually worse when there's another human in the scene. Like, when he and his, like, wife have their arms around, like, there's somebody in between, but, like, I think it looks worse when there's two. When it was just him, he was pulling it off okay, but I think adding another person kind of...
Yes. Yeah,
it
you're
made
right.
it difficult.
Fortunately, it's just the two buddies on the road trip for most of the movie.
It's a buddy movie.
Two best friends.
Mm-hmm. Having a good time.
Having a good time.
Okay, so you give it a 3. I give it I'll say a generous 2.
A generous 2.
You're welcome, Sonic. I'm being nice because I'm just getting to know you, but if you do this again, we're going to have some words.
It does look like there's a sequel on the way.
Oh my lord, how can they even say that already?
Well, there are like 5 Sonic video games, so I think it has to be the assumption going in.
But like, this was not based on anything, right? Like, this is just a weird...
It's just based on the idea of a Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Just a blue
streak
of lightning bud.
Blue devil.
Yeah. All right. So
All right.
not too terrible.
It's not the
Better
worst
than you
movie.
imagined.
Better than we thought it would be. Better than a lot of the trailers that we saw before it, I'm sure.
But not a great movie if you're an adult. Probably not even great if you're like an adult fan of it, because it doesn't really call much back to the actual video game.
No, and if you're an adult fan of Sonic the Hedgehog who wants to go see a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, just aim a little higher.
Burn!
Yeah.
You are vicious tonight. Okay, somebody's angry. I guess we should have had supper first, huh? All right, I guess that's it from us before this guy puts his foot in his mouth anymore. Bye, guys.
Bye.